Well, ladies and gents, welcome to the second week of Titans League. A second round here for Sebastian, the 20-year-old from Uruguay who was so close to beating the Viper in one or two games, actually, in their first round series. Sebastian comes in here with 3 games lost and 0 wins, and his group is very competitive. It feels like the conversation about him is going to be staying alive and making it into Platinum for the next season. So if that's going to be the case, I think he needs 1 win here against TaToH. At least 1, and then he could aim to get like 2 wins or, a couple series sets wins against Veleza, Barles, TaToH. Going to be tough, though. Everyone's playing really good. And he's got TaToH, who many people put in their top 5 here. And TaToH is playing as the Cumans, which is what he had done against Barles in his first round. In that first round, he won 2-1 there. So TaToH's feeling pretty comfortable. But again, every single game matters. It all adds up at the end of the conclusion of the group stage. However, someone like TaToH, he didn't really perform all that well or run that deep in the first seasons of Titans League. At least based on what he's capable of. The map is Ghost Lake. There are extra sheep on this map. You could see Sebastian's going to get those extra sheep right now. A bit interesting. TaToH didn't seem to send his scout to the middle right away. This is something that you would normally see players do. Sebastian even left his sheep here in order to get the ones in the middle there. So I really like Sebastian's strategy. But, TaToH had picked Britons, a civilization that's great on this map because it can be rather closed, but also because of the amount of sheep. Britons are historically one of the picks on Ghost Lake, though, of course, we haven't seen a lot of Ghost Lake over the years, so that outlook may have changed. But TaToH had picked Britons and Cumans as well. So there was a bit of this uncertainty, I think, for Sebastian, because he wasn't sure if TaToH would go for the 2TC boom with Cumans, which is completely different from what he also could have done, which is Britons. But he went for the Mayans here, and if you remember, he opened up his series against the Viper playing as the Mayans. And for those that watched that game, I loved reading those comments there. It was a ridiculous game. It was a crazy Viper comeback. It felt like only a comeback that Viper could maybe pull off. If you've been watching for as long as I have, just something we've seen from the Snake so many times over the years. But yeah, the targets to stay alive in the group in terms of wins. Thank you, Arbase, again, for bringing this up. So the 4th place players throughout the 4 different groups in the first season, okay, had the following amount of wins. We had 7, 6, 5, and 5. So the goal to be safe, and absolutely safe, would probably be 6. I don't know. 5 might not be enough. A lot of that depends on other results. Okay, so guys, recently, this looks so stupid. I'm gonna have to fix this. So the other day, everyone's mods just stopped working, and regardless of if you subscribe to them or unsubscribe to them or whatever, it just continued to not work. And there's been posts about it on the subreddit and on AoE Zone. And thanks to eMoment, I don't know how that bug happened. But anyways, I didn't have any issues the last 2 days. And I thought they said it was fixed. But something's going on here. Because the tree stumps are massive. Wait, does this have to do with the big tree mod that I downloaded? Oh! Okay. Well, I think this might be partially my fault. So I have small trees on. But I also have the huge trees on. And Capture Age... It picks up the small trees for the trees, and it picks up the large trees for the stumps. So the stumps actually get bigger than the trees. Okay, so I want to take my criticism of the devs back. I think this might actually be my fault. So we'll fix that in between games. So yeah, anyways, TaToH's on the way to Feudal Age over here, and he is chopping his massive stump. And TaToH's going to be going for scouts, actually. So TaToH going to change his strategy. So that's the tricky thing, right? So TaToH had done this against Barles. Barles was going fast castle because he assumed TaToH would go for the mini 2TC boom. I mean, it is possible Sebastian will actually go for Feudal Age play at the end of the day here. And he does actually click up here. Sebastian doesn't know this right now, but this is actually going to end up being really good for him. Because sometimes if you try and go fast castle against the Cumans, they're just going to show up with scouts and towers, and that's what TaToH did to Barles and give you some problems. Both bases pretty good. TaToH's golds. Wait a second. TaToH's missing a gold, guys. Hold on. This is a bugged map gen. TaToH's missing a gold. I need to intervene here. Hold on one sec. I need to try and message TaToH because he's missing a gold, which should not be possible. Okay, so I said, TaToH, you're missing a gold. I just realized. TaToH said, is fine. So, which to me means I don't care. TaToH with some massive balls here. He's just going to continue to play? He might have realized this himself? Okay. Like, he is his main golds. He has this 4-tile gold. There should be another 4-tile gold. Sebastian has 2 4-tile golds in his main gold. So TaToH's just going to continue to play. I mean, I don't know what more I can do there. Obviously, we'll take a look at the map script to try and sort that out. But we would have normally replayed this. TaToH just said it's fine. Now, if they were to stop now, we're catching up to live time. If they were to stop right now, maybe TaToH changed his mind. But at this point, he's been notified, and he's been attacking the house there. Apologies for the tree situation, by the way. It's a little embarrassing. It looks pretty ridiculous, but I can't do anything about it in-game right now. And Sebastian's going to see the stable from TaToH, and know TaToH's going for scouts. Remember, TaToH said it's fine. He said, I don't need my gold. Because who needs gold for scouts? I'm just going to kill all these villagers. And look at TaToH's micro. TaToH kills a villager just like... Oh, actually, hold on. Kills a villager just like that. They may have paused as well when I messaged TaToH, or he just decided to just like immediately respond in the middle of the game. And TaToH's just so good. This timing on his scout rush is so amazing. He's killed 2 villagers already, and Sebastian's little rush is walled out. And the frustrating thing for Sebastian is humans also have extra HP on their palisade walls. So just playing into scouts and walls is actually a fairly strong strategy here for TaToH. Yeah, these golds here are neutral golds. So there's supposed to be the main gold, which is 7 tiles. There's 2 villagers in there, by the way. Main gold, which is 7 tiles, 2 4-tile golds, and then 2 3-tile golds. And sorry, 2 4-tile golds for each player. So in total, it's 2 7-tile golds, 4 4-tile golds, and then 2 3-tile golds. That's a lot of numbers. So TaToH's absolutely missing a gold spot. I think TaToH's even going to drop the second TC now, so... But TaToH went for the scout rush, got some kills. Did lose the scout in the middle of the map, but look at this little distraction play from TaToH. Distracted the spearman. Normally that archer and spearman are together. Again, creative play there, so TaToH wants to continue. And again, his micro's been so good. Like, his unit control is incredible. The second town center takes some time to build here for the humans, and this does sink you deeper and deeper in the feudal age. And Sebastian, he's going to be adding more archers, more spearmen. Still has the potential for a faster castle age, and obviously does have 1 additional gold. Also, the resources don't last longer like they do for the Mayans. It's always a frustrating feeling, though, if you're Sebastian. You've lost 2 villagers here. You know you're the underdog. You know, and then you're struggling between, like, defending yourself and attacking. You feel the need to attack because you lost villagers. You now see the second town center, so you know that could be an issue. But what a sick build order here from TaToH. And even adding an archer range right now. TaToH is just dominating the guy right now. He's going to kill the next archer. He doesn't need to worry about these, actually, because they can't do any damage to him right now. 6-1 KD for TaToH. Sebastian with a start that's less than ideal. And there's an archer range. So, okay, 2 TCs for TaToH. And he also has kind of the better army at the moment. He's going to get another archer. Sorry for the speed changes, by the way. Because I paused and this is live, sometimes that can happen. And okay, so basically, what you should aim to do if you're Sebastian is continually pressure here. But still have a really good farm count behind this to get to Castle Age. Because even if you were to kill, let's say, 2 villagers, 3 villagers, TaToH has 2 town centers now producing. So the ultimate goal is to control this game fully in Castle Age. And TaToH was probably pretty happy with his build, pretty happy with what he was seeing. I maybe should have realized a little bit faster, but it's just not something you really expect here with the map gen. The issue with Ghost Lake is sometimes the wood lines. Not the big giant stumps here. That's a visual mod. But in conversation with T West and having used Ghost Lake for my events in the past, getting proper woodline generations is always the toughest thing. because sometimes players will have forward wood and other times they won't. So, like, that aspect has been good, but obviously it's removed a gold. And TaToH's on stone, by the way, so he could make towers if he wanted to. We've got skirms for TaToH. We've got scouts for TaToH. And he's just going to fall back with his skirms now. He's no reason not to at the moment. 3 villager lead. But the potential for so much more, obviously. I think Sebastian wasn't expecting TaToH to have this much army. Like, the initial scout rush is one thing. But the timing on TaToH to also get the skirmishers out is just incredible. I honestly don't know if there's another player that can play humans on a map like this as good as TaToH. He's making use of the bonuses all the time, right? The cheaper stable, cheaper archer range, more wall HP. And now TaToH knows he's going to need gold, so he's going to come over here and drop a tower now, which is why he'd been prepping that stone. And maybe the first misstep from TaToH in this game, as Sebastian's got a really interesting force here. I mean, the whole thing for Sebastian now is he doesn't want to lose his archer mass. So he's going to hope the man-at-arms and spearmen can kind of hold off these skirms. And TaToH's trying to bait his opponent into engagements. But he's got to micro down the spearmen, and Sebastian's pulled those away. Those 2 eagles and man-at-arms. This is going to buy Sebastian a lot of time. 44 villagers versus 39. Sebastian's food eco looking better and better. And TaToH's army still being pushed away. Sebastian, nice hold here. And TaToH might be on that gold. But now I'm not sure if that additional stone is really doing much for him. He might need a market to balance his economy, and you still got about, let's say, 3 or 4 minutes till Sebastian's in the next age. But Sebastian is really held strong here, and it looked like he was going to get out of hand here, but we'll see. And TaToH's tower was, of course, perfectly timed, right? If he didn't have that tower, he would have never been able to fall back there. And he does have a misclick there. Yet again, for some reason, casting this live game, there's stutters for me, so I can't do anything about that. And normally associated with pauses. Let's see if I could, like, just speed up 8 times speed. No, actually, I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is keep it on normal speed. Because if I do 8 times speed, sometimes when the game ends, if there's a spec delay, and there is here, it'll speed up, and it kind of spoils the ending, so. Now you're seeing the build difference for TaToH. Now his food count's starting to catch up as well. He must be saving that stone for an eventual castle, because he knows this could be bad. 15 to 6 KD for the Spaniard. And this young kid from Uruguay, I mean, he probably knows he can't kill TaToH right away. He might drop those town centers like he did against Viper. And just go to 3 TCs behind all this, but he does still have a considerable archer mass. Right now he's at 11. He'll probably be at about 15. That's enough to pick off some villagers at TaToH's base pretty easily. Does need to be careful here with this gate. He doesn't see this. That villager... she had a death wish. And unfortunately for Sebastian, you don't want to let this army in here, so you kind of just got to let her die. Sad times for her. And now, actually, the gate's open. TaToH's actually not going to end up running in here, though. Sebastian, though, had to use his speed to make sure TaToH didn't run in. Still, the archer mass is okay. It was 3 villager kills from TaToH, and he's going to be about 2 minutes behind a castle age with the 2 TC boom. Skirmishers might not be as much of an issue now. This could actually be a little bit of a clear for Sebastian. Maybe not all of it, but most of it. And allows him to freely move forward. Now, a big reason why this map is tougher to punish the humans, beyond just the additional food and the walling potential, and wow, I completely misjudged that, but still okay, is the fact that there's ice, and you can't build on the ice. So you can't go like forward siege workshop here, which is what you would do in Arabia. But Sebastian can go forward siege workshop here, and he's also dropping the 2nd and the 3rd town center, so he's going to try his best to catch up with the villagers. I like this decision here from Sebastian, and I think it's still going to be an awkward situation for TaToH to defend this. Like, TaToH's got to make more skirms now, and that's going to take time. Also looks like he's considering some knight play here. Also, TaToH using the scout and the skirms, trying to pick off the reinforcements from Sebastian and be super annoying. Sebastian's going to end up losing 1 crossbow, though. Will probably kill... Well, actually, look at TaToH! Calm down, bro. Look at that micro kills, an additional crossbow. And now he's in Castle Age. I also like how he started to make his siege workshop before he was in the Castle Age. You can only do that with the humans. Yet another example of TaToH making use of the human bonuses. You know... Normally, TaToH would have another gold to work off of, right? And I don't know what more to say beyond the fact that I literally messaged the guy and said, hey, you don't have a gold. Like, let's read this. Let's do a restart. Same civ, same map. That's what you do. And hopefully it's not bugged. If this game isn't one that TaToH snowballs, that could be a very pressing issue. Beautiful attack ground from him there. Does weaken some crossbowmen. And he's going to go elite skirmisher and a couple step lancers. And he's got his siege. There's a lot of moving parts in the middle of the map right now. Sebastian with an attack grounds. Predicted where TaToH's going to go. TaToH then dodges it. I would expect the Vil count to even out a bit because Sebastian's producing out of 3 town centers now, and he's got good economy as well. This tower is something TaToH added a long time ago. That was really good thinking, wasn't it? Because if he didn't have that tower there, he wouldn't be able to take the gold still. TaToH's going to use the skirms offensively, most likely just to pick off reinforcements, and Sebastian knows that, so he's waiting to send anything forward. But Sebastian's still struggling to really find an opportunity to do a lot of damage. I think TaToH's going to want to run over here and TC this gold soon. And he also is sending the step lancers into the middle of the map. He must expect that siege is coming home right now. That's so good. If he spots that, that's an easy pick for him, and I believe he just did. And wow, what a great play from TaToH. He has to defend here as well, guys. And he repairs his mangonel, dodges back, loses the repair villager. Sebastian kills it, though. Beautiful micro from Sebastian. What a game this is. But what an annoying situation this is right now for Sebastian. He does have this gold for now, so he doesn't have to worry too much. And TaToH abandons this wood line. Full armor for the skirm, so yeah, crossbows can't be anywhere near these things. And the siege workshop being forward does make defense really awkward. You can wall this out for the time being, so that's good, and try and hit the step lancers. But if you try and hit the step lancers, the skirms are going to hit everything else. And now Sebastian, I think he dives in here in a situation where TaToH wasn't completely expecting it. Very bold dive. And TaToH just hops in and out of the towers and does drop that town center on that gold. TaToH's still banking up stone, but not a lot of it. He doesn't have that much on stone. He does have his zones very safe. So if he wanted to go forward castle, he'd probably have more. But yeah, I mean, he has maintained his villager count. Sebastian, however, has caught up a little bit, hasn't he? Ballistics now for TaToH, who wants to win this game through skirmishers. Sebastian thinking about maybe... it's a good decision here. Maybe some Eagle Warriors. Especially if there's not many step lancers. Eagles are starting to feel a bit stronger. Especially if TaToH has siege, Eagles are starting to feel a little bit stronger. Or sound a little bit stronger. Ballistics upgrade for TaToH, though, means he's got a strong window here before any Eagles come out. And wouldn't surprise me at all to see TaToH start to transition more on the stone in these moments. Watch that stone count if you get an opportunity here, guys, because I think that's going to be coming soon. Sebastian really, he's trying to ignore this. He's really annoyed by all this. He's got a lot of idle time because of it. And Sebastian will repair his siege. Doesn't want to lose this foothold. I like how he's made houses over here and has vision on that right-hand side in the long term. And he figures, I've got enough crossbows, man. I can just fight off these skirmishers. 34 crossbows. I wish I had a stat for active building time, like military building time. This whole game, it feels like those archery ranges have been moving for Sebastian. But, you know, he doesn't have the Eagle Warrior upgrade. He doesn't have multiple barracks. And he doesn't have... He hasn't been able to expand much. But he, too, is on stone now. And TaToH slowly just trying to take out this siege workshop. The stat is right there. The stat is right where? There's no idle time stat for archery ranges. Unless maybe it's on the thing if I click it. Selected units efficiency. Well, that could actually maybe apply. See, I don't think it's the same as what I'm talking about. I want to know how consistently that's been producing. And that number varies and changes all the time. Maybe there's something I'm missing, though. Okay, siege still very helpful against the skirms. TaToH, just 18 skirms with a civ that doesn't get bracer. And Sebastian, 130 population versus 120 now from TaToH. He has come back in this game. Very nice comeback. Being told to click on the percentage. Ah, last minute all time. Creating unit. Oh, sick. That's awesome, actually. That's a really high stat. This one's 70%. I mean, the barracks probably super low, right? Because he doesn't produce out of it as much. Then that makes more sense. I'm curious on like TaToH's range in comparison. Wow, that's awesome. All right. I don't know. How long has that been there, actually? Is this a best of 5? No, there's no best of 5s in the group stage. It's play all 3s, as it says on screen there. Every win matters. It'll be played regardless of the results. Sebastian's on his way to the Imperial Age here soon. And he's kind of fallen back into defense mode, hasn't he? He's like, let's just protect myself. Let's go up towards Imp. If I get to Arbalest, what can TaToH do? And to be honest, while that third gold is a conversation that will need to be had a little bit later, perhaps, when it comes to TaToH, I don't even think that's as much of the issue. Like, even if that gold was there, Sebastian's going to be an Imp with Arbalest. As long as Sebastian doesn't take any really bad fights. He might not be expecting TaToH to have the siege over here. He had to wall this out, which is not so easy. He now sees the skirms. Decent shot there for Sebastian, but you got to keep your siege alive here. You're building a castle behind this. Oh, no! Oh, no! TaToH comes in with the Mangonel and the skirmishers and the Step Lancer. Oh, man. What a great moment for TaToH, who also clicks up to the Imperial Age. 47 farmers for him. He's got 1 relic. That's going to help with gold. But Sebastian falling apart a little bit. It feels like he has the army mass, though. He can't have it all in the same spot. TaToH just keeps switching positions. Also, that TC's at 84 HP. That needs to be deleted by Sebastian. Otherwise, he'll lose all those resources. He will complete the castle on his gold. Well, he might not lose the resources because TaToH might just pressure the units. So I guess that ends up being okay. There is a hole there. Very hard to see because I got this weird stump glitch. Decent hit there from TaToH. Okay, that got deleted by Sebastian. He's actually very low on gold at the moment. And he wants to wait till Imp to take any engagements with his crossbows. Something I need to enable again, I didn't have it on for community games, is the market events. Look at how much has been sold for gold here. And look at how annoying TaToH is. Another opportunity to snipe a siege weapon. Also has this over here, which is what Sebastian's trying to deal with. Dude, TaToH is so good with small numbers of units. It's crazy. Now, let's look at TaToH's point of view. TaToH can see this gold. He sees this gold, and he knows there was going to be a TC there. So he might fixate a lot of his pressure there. He doesn't see the neutral gold over here. He does have 2 relics. About to be 3. TaToH said, it's fine. He said, is fine. When I said, hey, TaToH, you're missing a 3rd gold. He responded to me immediately. This is obviously before a lot of the damage was dealt. And he said, let's just play on here. I don't need that freaking gold. Like, I'm just worried about Cumans. How do you stop Arbalest if your skirmishers don't have bracer? I mean, they will have the armor, which is good. But it just becomes such a big long-term problem. It would be better, though, to have the final armor and no attack. I think because the idea of skirmishers is they do a lot of damage anyways because of the bonus damage. Not because of their attack, right? Because, look, it's this 3-attack unit. It's the bonus damage that helps them. And the armor is what makes them strong against archers because they tank a lot of shots. Still TaToH with random units on Sebastian. Sebastian dropping another castle. Sebastian will get his TC up on that gold. Sebastian, no Arbalest upgrade just yet. That hurts. He's going to want that. He is getting chemistry right now. TaToH is also getting armor and chemistry. So he does no imp upgrades at the moment, and Sebastian does. No guard tower available for the Cumans either. TaToH's going Cavalier behind this. It feels like he wants to open Skirm and then try and maybe win this game really fast with Paladin. Be a bold choice for TaToH, who still does have to respect the siege. Not having that bracer upgrade means he's doing the same amount of damage against the siege as he would have if he was in castle, but he takes it out like it's nothing. Still has random units throughout Sebastian's eco, and you could tell Sebastian's like struggling to keep up with the pace of the game a little bit. And TaToH will drop castle number 2, and he's dropping all those cheap stables now. You don't see this every day, guys, but TaToH is going to open with Paladin before he's shown his opponent that he's going to cav at all. So, like, sometimes you're going to see, like, Hussar, or you at least fight with Cavalier. But TaToH's hiding this decision. And when he shows up, it's going to be with Paladin, not with Cavalier. And so the problem from Sebastian's point of view is, you're not seeing anything that indicates to you that your opponent's going to do this. I think on some level, though, you should expect it. But if you remember how Sebastian played Mayans against Viper, he was really late to add in the barracks. Like, you shouldn't think that TaToH's going to continue with skirms. At the very least, you'd think TaToH would go Hussar. So there should be barracks going down now, in my opinion. Maybe not, though. Like, maybe he just says, I'm Mayans. Like, I can make, like, 60, 70 ARBs. No, then again, there's the pikeman upgrade. It's so risky for TaToH, like, because he just doesn't have a lot of gold, right? Like, if Paladin does not work, he might lose the game. He does not have a lot of gold income. He's got the relics, which is nice. And he also does have the Trebs here. And the Trebs might just hold this position for a little bit longer so he can mass those Paladins. 150 villagers for TaToH. And yeah, the Treb is to pack up there. And he is sending his skirms from the right side. But they are arriving here, and they're getting a decent trade in. And now Paladin's in. And now you panic. Now you panic if you're Sebastian, and this is the moment TaToH was waiting for. Paladin in a 1v1 when you don't have 4 tiles of gold. Are you kidding me, TaToH? Are you that crazy? Now, TaToH has to be careful he doesn't lose his Trebs here. He could have stayed here with the Paladins, but he knows his opponent's exposed. So here he goes. Sebastian just overchopped that tree, so the Paladins get in. They would have gotten in anyways. So he has to put out that fire. And now Sebastian has to save the front of his base. You've still got skirms hitting Arbalest. And now the Paladins from TaToH will run in. Is that high enough number to snipe these Trebs? It's worth it for TaToH so he doesn't lose his own. He's trying there, but he won't get the second one. Sebastian, however, will lose that castle. Still good population for Sebastian, and still a question of if TaToH can continue to make Paladins. And we're talking about Mayans, guys. Mayans are really good at holding on to resources. And now we've got Halb and Arbalest in for Sebastian. TaToH did get in here. I mean, they still got skirmishers here, which is crazy. But he got in here with a lot of units. There's a lot of idle time and messiness for the economy right now for Sebastian. But TaToH has to pack up with his Trebs right now. And that's a good sign for the Uruguayan. He's still got 128 villagers. And TaToH's going to see this gold, though. And now TaToH's going to back up. I think it would make sense for TaToH to click the light cav upgrade at this stage. Like, I don't know if you want to continue with just Paladin, but we will see. He's also selling resources before his opponent. He even sold stone. He's like, I don't need more castles. He's trying to compensate for the fact he didn't have that gold. Could this become a wood game where TaToH controls all of this side with a lot of raids and, you know, keeps Sebastian penned in on this side? Are the Cuman skirms good enough? They still doing decent job against the Halbs. The other thing is you don't have to be that worried about losing skirmishers. TaToH also has lots of production on this side, too. I think that was part of the problem, is he was producing from the right side. TaToH is just a fearless player with so much confidence in his abilities. Sebastian, again, showing what he's capable of and how good a player he is. But unfortunately for him, he just still doesn't have enough here. And TaToH runs in with the Palace. He should take that Treb. I'm really surprised. He's going for the Arbs! I think Sebastian expected the Treb to be the focus there for TaToH's Paladins. TaToH says, I might not have gold, but I've got enough of it for now. He only has 1 Treb, though. If he had 4 Trebs and he had taken out TaToH's Treb, this is probably game over, and Sebastian loses his whole position. But let's see. Sebastian's down to 27 Arbs, guys. He is making more. This TaToH guy is just an incredible player. Treb number 2. Skirm Paladin, Skirm Paladin, Skirm Paladin. And Paladin's in the eco now. The castle in the front will fall. This is just disgusting. TaToH is so good, man. He is so good at this game. The things that he was able to do in this game, from the scout rush to the 2 TC boom to all the decisions in Castle Age, is so technical and so strong. And it looks like TaToH's going to take the first game without 4 tiles of gold. 81 villagers killed by TaToH in this game. He only lost 4 against all that pressure that Sebastian had, all that military. Like, how many times do you see mines with that level of military and they can't get that much damage in? I think Sebastian, he'll know this now. He knows he's probably dead. You play on until you're certain that you're dead, especially when every game matters like this. And then, obviously, it's a play all 3. You've got more games coming up. So maybe you want to de-rust a tad as we see Siege Ram on the way now for TaToH. But, yeah, the GG's called. TaToH is just, not only is he a beast, guys, but he is just so fun to watch. Like, the way he views the game, the way he plays the game, the strategy that he intertwines into his style is just so great. It is the reason he's one of my favorite players. 298 kills in this game from TaToH. 192 units lost. And again, he didn't even have 4 tiles of gold. Like, he put himself on the clock there with going Paladin. But at the same time, he realized that it's actually best for him to finish this game fast. And the way to do that is to spend that precious gold. In the end, I'm curious what the gold difference was. He actually collected more of every single resource that game, which is pretty incredible. And, you know, for Sebastian, I think that he correctly played to his strengths, picking Mayans. But I'm not entirely sure if going for a Archer Eagle Civ is necessarily the way against the humans. It's so easy for me to say after the fact, but I personally would have liked to see like more of a stable choice there. Because then if the opponent goes scouts, cool, you can go scouts as well. If they go 2 TCs, going Knight, Monk, Siege seems to be an effective way to punish the humans. Like, the crossbow play allowed him to catch up an eco and take it to late game, but he was never able to punish the TCs or punish the little tower play. Like, you know, you don't get guard tower with humans. Like, Siege melts it, but crossbows can't really on their own. And anyways, I think TaToH's just too good. He's just too good. Okay. Anyways, I want to show you guys, though, like, in my Steam, I said, Tati, you are missing a gold. I just realized. He just said, it's fine. And he didn't even pause. So he said that mid-game. I figured that was the best way to contact him so we could restart that one. But he said, screw you, T90. Wow, that's not actually what he said. But you get what I'm saying. So TaToH takes the first game. I've got to restart my game here and remove that mod. All right. So we're catching up to speed because I had to remove the tree mod because that was an issue. So TaToH goes Khmer? Khmer here, game 2? That's very weird. I was not expecting that at all. Let's make this 3 so it's easier. Perfect. So Sebastian still really needs a win. Sorry, he doesn't have that win. TaToH got the win in game 1. TaToH playing like a beast. Sebastian's gone for the Japanese. And he confused me there with something that he did, but he canceled Loom now, so it's fine. Japanese are true, tried, established, everything that you could talk about on this map. From their ability to have flexibility in the Dark Age, to go into fish, to go into infantry, to go into archers. They're just good. They're good at what they do. There's not many civs that can compete with them. One of those civs would probably be like the Lithuanians, which was actually banned out by Sebastian in his draft here. So he didn't want TaToH to have that possibility. I've never seen Khmer played on this map. Like, I think it's got to be ever. So I'm curious to see exactly what happens. And, you know, for TaToH, obviously he now has 3 wins total because he won 2 versus Barrels and a 2-1 in the first week. Now he's got this other win. So he's looking pretty good. But, you know, obviously he still wants as many wins as possible. So I think if TaToH were to go for something too fancy here, obviously TaToH loves to be creative. But if he were to lose being fancy, there might be a point where he regrets that. So just to reiterate my point on how this works. So first off, it's $40 a win. But then there's playoffs at the end of the group. So you have first place. They go immediately to the round of 8. First place of every group. Second place player plays the third place player from the other group. Or from another group, right? Because there's 4 groups. And then the third place players plays the second place players. So, like, just saying, like, if TaToH were to go Fast Castle, Ballista Elephants, or something crazy, and it were to look really bad here, I have faith in TaToH, don't get me wrong. You know, it's worth pointing out that, you know, at the end of the group, if we see TaToH in third place, and then he's up against, like, I don't know, like, let's say Leary or something in second, and then he loses, you might be like, hey, TaToH, remember that time you went for Khmer and Ballista Elephants? Maybe you shouldn't have done that, bro. So, I don't know how crazy this is going to be. So far, you know, he is going to go over to TaToH, which is the fairly standard play on this map. Anyways, it could just be that TaToH wants to maybe use the ability to hop in and out of houses with the Khmer, which could be helpful with the Japanese pressure. But very rarely do you see TaToH that goes... Like, you never see TaToH go for something that's so far out of the box, you just look at it and say, wow, that was bad. Like, that has been something that maybe I'd associate with my boy Vinchester. Both players are in the same conversation in terms of their level. Like, both insane. I think Vinch, he's the only reason people might not think top 5 for Vinch this very moment is only because the last 2 like lands, he wasn't able to get there. He should have been there. Like, in terms of his skill and quality, he absolutely deserved to be there. So, and then sometimes Vinchester does some out-of-the-box stuff, and you're like, okay, I'm not sure what you were thinking. With TaToH, normally you have an idea. So, anyways, Sebastian docking the left side, fishing away. He's walling up a little bit right now. Not necessarily a bad thing, but like I've said many times, Japanese have the ability to open up aggressively, and usually they use some of that extra wood for a barracks so they can go for man-at-arms. Scout coming this way for Sebastian. Also, Elbio, what's up? Just finally I'm watching you live instead of YouTube. Welcome in. And TaToH's going to click up, and I could definitely see TaToH just opening with a scout rush. Like, TaToH loves to get a little bit of control off scouts. Sebastian's like, no, you will not push in that deer. Neither player has scouted where the other one has docked, which would eliminate the strategy of sneaking a villager to their pond. At least immediately. Like, sometimes you'll see players send a villager at 7 minutes. That strategy is pretty much eliminated now unless they're taking a massive risk. And TaToH sees the house wall, must realize the TC's there. And yeah, I mean, all the signs show that there will be a TC there, so he loops away. We don't actually have forward gold income for Sebastian. That could confuse TaToH. It's because Sebastian's gone back here. And now Sebastian sees lumber camp number 2 for TaToH. Now remember, he scouted this shoreline. He knows that TaToH's not there. He has to assume TaToH's probably over here. For TaToH, he doesn't have to build a barracks before an archer range or a stable. He could just simply open up with a stable. And the way he's placing his house here makes me think that he's going to use that to hide inside if he needs to. Also, even a villager down here walled in the dock to make some extra fishing ships. So I could see TaToH adding a few extra fishing ships with the additional wood that you save because you don't have to make a barracks. That's interesting, actually. And that's valuable. In theory, though, you're basically trading barracks for dock. It's pretty much the same price. But yeah, the important thing, I think, is that Sebastian saw that. Sebastian knows there's a dock going up there already for TaToH. And he's definitely playing this very different from how he played against the Viper with Japanese. With Viper, he was very aggressive. And maybe there's a theme now for him, and he's realizing that this aggression against some of these guys is just not enough. So he might just not try being aggressive in feudal and just take it to Castle Age. And he checked to make sure TaToH wasn't docking him, verified that TaToH wasn't docking him, and it's just full walling his base and adding spearmen. And TaToH is adding the scouts, so I don't really hate the position for Sebastian. I'd like to see him maybe consider sending a Vil out of this wall, though. Like sneaking out and going to this pond. TaToH made an outpost already, just in case. Okay. Now, here's the thing, guys. So, spearmen counter scouts, but scouts are still faster. And the scouts are going to still be out there to be able to kill villagers that do something like this. So, you have to be careful if you're Sebastian just moving over to other ponds. If there's scouts out there, it's still a possibility. And you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So, Sebastian walls in his Vil. And TaToH shows him that he knows it's there. I don't know what's happening there, though. There's an issue here for Sebastian's villager. Okay. It just kind of got stuck. I think he had misclicked it this way. And okay. So TaToH with a total of 8 fishing ships, which is 1 more than his opponent. It's about to be 9. And I wonder if TaToH's going to farm before berries. No, he's not going to do that. Good scout control. Japanese spearmen will attack faster. We've had 0 kills, 0 deaths in this game. Both players playing very safe. Good Age of Empires. And TaToH just, he's the master with the scout control, it seems like, today. It's so good. Like, even to, like, those extra 2 hits, it's just so crazy to me. He can tell where the spearmen are going to go. And then he immediately pounces. But we have archers and we have more spearmen showing up here. Uh-oh, but the other spearmen are out of position. And TaToH's going to go in here. It's not going to be the best fight he's ever had, but he just wants to kill the archers because he knows that'll be a worry for him. And he does kill the archers, but loses 2 scouts. I think the reason for that, guys, the reason TaToH's comfortable with that is because he knows his scouts aren't going to accomplish much anymore. He figures he's already docking over here. And he also knows that he didn't really have an answer for the archers just yet. So, like, delaying that potential threat of the archers just enough so he could maybe get Castle Age or be able to focus on other things in the meanwhile was worth it to him in that moment. And Sebastian is just like... So he's played defense now, and he's played it well, and he's trying to transition that into offense, but TaToH's got the better of him here. And TaToH's going to have an edge to control this pond. Okay, there's the archer and some spearmen. Again, not the biggest force ever. And TaToH now has the skirmishers. If it was 3 archers, obviously he'd be outnumbered. But he'd killed 2 of them. Sebastian, he added 1 fire galley, is busy with other things at the moment as he's planning towards Castle Age. And Sebastian loves his archers, man. He loves his archers, and TaToH, he's already on skirmishers, so we might need to see a stable from Sebastian, see him go into knights. Can a Japanese spear 1v1 a villager? Good question. I would think that it'd be worth it to take engagements if there were no skirms. If there were no skirms, Sebastian would be going in with this. Obviously, you know, he's got multiple spearmen and an archer. The positive for Sebastian is that he didn't lose a ton here. Also, this is kind of funny. The fishing ship isn't taking damage because the dock is kind of blocking the fire, which is kind of ridiculous. Now, sometimes, and Sebastian does this well, like, I've gone skirmishers against Sebastian so many times, and then he just makes more archers and has a faster Castle Age, and so the skirmisher timing doesn't work out. Especially weakening this amount of skirmishers is actually really valuable. TaToH might not even continue with skirms, and Sebastian seems to know it. TaToH might see this, though. And TaToH does see it. It's a frustrating feeling when your opponent tracks your every move. But for the time being, TaToH has more fishing ships than the Japanese guys. He's going to have 3 out of 4 ponds. He just has to hold and defend from this attack. And I feel like with Khmer, you might want to go for a siege workshop and a couple scorpions in defense. TaToH still being annoying with his scouts. Sebastian not wanting to fully give up on this area, but TaToH's got enough fire galleys. TaToH's still microing with his scout. Still, like that level of micro right there, I just cannot relate to. Like, getting that little amount of value when you've got... Oh, I can relate to that, actually. That's why I don't do it. TaToH wasn't expecting the archers to be there. He wanted to go siege on the hill. See, that's why I don't do that stuff. So, actually, I can relate to everything that happened. The old me would have tried that ambitious crap, and then I'd get punished with the basics. And TaToH, he's got to be careful here. Dang, okay. Crossbowman should be on the way. I noticed the food count for Sebastian's not great. It's because he's adding a knight. But he actually can't get Bodcanero right now, which will obviously hurt him. TaToH getting Bodcanero and adding a siege workshop. TaToH no elite skirm yet, though. But the crossbowman upgrade was delayed just enough for Sebastian, and the knight hasn't been out here to where Sebastian does need to back away. It feels like these are the moments, right? Like early Castle Age window. These are the moments where Sebastian's wanting to get that damage in, especially when he's slightly behind an eco. And TaToH getting a little bit more value there. But is still no elite skirm and needs to be careful now because the knight is here. I guess you just have to farm boom at this point if you're Sebastian, right? Like, I don't think you really can justify being super competitive for the pawns. Man, not having Bodcanero is a frustrating feeling at the moment. But the 2 knights, I think, can bring a lot of value. Like, the alternative would be no stable and no knights at all, and they would have Bodcanero. Because the knights can pick off any scorpions that TaToH might use to defend. And, like, this is an extremely vulnerable area for TaToH at the moment. But if he can pre-build the houses, he could always run inside them. And TaToH's going to aim to add monks to convert any knights, and he's going to add scorpions for everything else. And Sebastian's worried about that. Sebastian doesn't have faith in his army without Bodkin yet. And he sees this now. And you've got to have confidence here if you're the kid. You've got to loop in, and you've got to ask these questions of TaToH regardless. I like how Sebastian already has Horse Scholar. This is where you'll start to see players farm more. So that's really nice. And what I'm liking for TaToH is that... for Sebastian, is that TaToH's playing pretty open here. There's a lot of potential for villagers to be lost, but there's the Khmer bonus we talked about earlier. Still, though, if the villagers are inside the houses, they're still not collecting resources. So it gives TaToH time, but, I mean, you're still not really in a great position if you've got 10 villagers idle there. Obviously, the alternative is they die, so it's better to have them be able to go back to work than not. As there's a siege workshop from Sebastian. He's now going to go to the left side. And so he's pulling TaToH away. And TaToH should probably, if he had the stone for it, maybe outpost the left side. We might see extra houses in the dark spots for vision because he has Town Watch now. But now he's thinking, where do I go? What do I do? What's my opponent going to do? TaToH's definitely ahead in economy. But TaToH's now going forward. So he doesn't know siege pressure will come in on the left. He doesn't know crossbow pressure will come in on the left. And he doesn't know these crossbows are heading back. Let's see how quickly TaToH deals with this. He reacts here. Be ready to just get overwhelmed with genius, by the way. Okay? So he reacts there, still moving forward, still trying to figure out what to do. He immediately reacts here without losing a villager. And watch the instant redemption the second he sees this siege. TaToH's game sense, instant redemption. Khmer do get it, if I'm not wrong. He's got to bring his skirmishers back here. Okay, I thought I was going to make an amazing call. TaToH's actually under pressure. He's housed a lot. He does see the siege. I thought it would have been so cool there if it's like, boom, redemption, so we can convert the siege. Well, there you go. Opportunity for TaToH, and he's decided that it's worth losing these skirmishers to kill these crossbows. I'm not sure if it's worth... Well, okay, no. Actually, look at this. He's targeting different crossbows. He's got two groups in that group. It's just hard for you to see. He didn't do it there. Look at Sebastian. Oh, he almost killed the monk. TaToH will actually be very happy with that trade. He just got a lot more value than you would expect. But he's still got to be careful with his town center here. He does have a knight now, though. Then that knight can be used against the siege here for Sebastian. So Sebastian can never have his siege out on its own because he doesn't have his own monks. TaToH, good defensive shot there. 81 eco versus 64. Sebastian can probably feel this slipping away. Yeah, I think if Outpost didn't cost any stone, you would see them everywhere all the time. I agree that Outposts are underrated. I think Town Watch with houses, though, is still really effective, which is kind of what TaToH has done. You've got the monks. You've got the Khmer Scorpions. Remember, they have 8 range. And TaToH just with the knight in the middle there, just making it difficult for Sebastian to reinforce. This eco is good enough now for TaToH where he could go for a pretty big flood of knights. And I see him getting cav armor right now. But he's going to lose the Scorpions here. And he doesn't have a lot still. And the TC is still under fire. Again, a little surprised TaToH doesn't consider redemption. Am I wrong, guys? People that know more than I do. Am I wrong? I thought Khmer got redemption. TaToH might not realize that. Good micro from TaToH, though. As he takes out 2 and loses 1. And Sebastian just chooses to micro against this. And he didn't have another mangonel on the way. In fact, he completely ran out of gold income. Oh, God, that hurts him so much. He doesn't realize. He's probably trying to queue units. And now he's going to realize. And that actually stalls out his push pretty massively. Because it felt like that was the time where he needed to continue here. And now TaToH's making a couple skirms. He's getting +2 armor. He's bloodlines. He could maybe make another archer range. 98 eco for TaToH. He's at 17 fishing ships. I'll have to look and see if he's fish trapping as well here. They do get redemption. Okay, good to know. I think it would have been helpful for TaToH. Obviously, Sebastian would have been able to take out his monks with the crossbows in theory. And TaToH held just fine anyways. There's definitely a theme with Sebastian, right? Like, I think you could tell why he just mopped up everybody in Gold League. His crossbow timings are usually pretty good. But he is not showing a lot of confidence with any switch, is he? Now, what he would have wanted is like 3 or 4 mangonels, all his crossbows, everything right here, and then a castle drop on TaToH's face. What this has turned into is it's got to be more of a defensive castle. He's got to fall back now if he has any chance. And falling back against TaToH, it's never a great sign, especially when TaToH's got a civilization that can bring in food faster than you. And again, looking to see if TaToH's going to start fish trapping here because his pawns are starting to run out there. Quick wall attempt there. Crossbow's dying here. TC will go up. Now, I think the way this game's going to shift is I think TaToH's going to aim to castle here, right? Now TaToH's going to have control. He's got a lot more army massing, and it's a stronger army, too. He'll have full attack. He'll also have full armor, and he's going to have ballistics for the skirmishers. God, this guy's so good at this game. What a rough group for Sebastian. Like, his first opponent's Viper, his second opponent's TaToH. Again, imagine if he would have gotten that win against Viper, that very first win, even if he lost the rest of the games. A 3-0 against TaToH here wouldn't feel as bad, would it? TaToH's got crazy control with knights, with great upgrades, the scorpions, the skirmishers. He's in now. Oh, no! And I think it's all falling apart for Sebastian. I mean, it did fall apart a long time ago, to be completely honest with you. TaToH's just been one step ahead of him. And, well, sorry, guys. I shouldn't have had it on fast forward. Noob caster moment. But considering I think we could kind of sense this was coming, yeah, the GG was called. I got to do a better job at that. If they're using a spec delay, that happens. But, yeah, TaToH just mops him up. TaToH was going to drop the castle forward. TaToH had a 30 or 40 villager lead at this point. In my opinion, I mean, there were a couple things that changed this game. First thing that changed this game was TaToH taking this pond away from Japanese. He kept such good vision on where Sebastian was on either side. He took that pond like it was nothing. The other moment in this game was early castle. And, oh god, the speed's still there. And, like, this is the moment where you want to have crossbowmen, and you want to have bodcanero, and you want to be pushing like crazy. But he was concerned about TaToH going for the skirm, so he went for knights, and he just didn't have the resources. That's the main issue. He did not have the eco for this. Because look how long it took TaToH. Like, TaToH's going to get elite skirm at 21 minutes. I think he ended up hitting Castle Age at, like, 1910. And there's a pretty definitive window there. But TaToH defended wonderfully on the wood line with houses and hopping in and out of them. He kept his economy stronger that whole game, and then eventually defended from the all-in push, too. But for Sebastian, a player with promise, he has yet to get a win here. And that was on his home map. The final game will be on TaToH's home map, which will be Shoals. All right, game 3. Again, it feels like Sebastian needs a win here, right? Obviously, being up against TaToH and being up against Viper, tough opponents for the first 2 rounds of Titans League. Really tough group here in Group D. However, Barrels got a win against TaToH. And Barrels was 4th in his group last time around, right? So Barrels barely stayed alive. If you're 5th or 6th, you're relegated down to gold. So I think, like, you got to at least stay level with Barrels. And, you know, that's the other thing, too, is, like, if you were to look at Group D right now, you might actually say that, like, Barrels and TaToH are still going to be the 2 that get relegated. Ideally, you would have been way ahead of Barrels. You can't do much about it now. Sebastian's gone for the Saracens to maybe try and end this game quickly. TaToH's gone for his trusty Italians, and this is TaToH's home map. So I'm rooting for Sebastian to get a win. I think it makes Group D look a lot more interesting. If he doesn't get a win here, he needs to probably win 2 out of the 3 series against TaToH, Leza, and then Barrels. Whenever those sets happen. Ooh. I'm not sure TaToH should have gone for that woodline. That is, there's not a lot that I can be critical of with TaToH. But that's just not a good place to place a lumber camp. You should be placing it over here. He will make another lumber camp later on, but still. That can happen sometimes in this generation where you've got these tiny woodlines, but there should be bigger woodlines around. Remember, the main focus on this map is first the water. You have the fishing ships next to your wonderful little sea tower, which can defend your fishing ships for a while. And then you've got the 4 tiles of gold. That's at your base, and that's not really that much. That's enough to get you to Castle Age, and then a little bit more beyond that. And then you'll want to focus on these golds and stone areas. But again, a lot of aspects of the game matter, like your economy and your army control. Someone said greetings from Baguette Lands. Well, hello. As an American, how would I greet people? And what would I switch in there instead of baguette? Burgerland? Greetings from Burgerland? I feel like that's the impression that non-Americans would have. I like burgers, but like I don't... Where's this villager going? Okay, there we go. I don't eat a ton of burgers. Gunlands? I guess that's fair. Freedom lands. Freedom! I don't know about that. Yeah, I think definitely from the outside point of view, people would definitely say guns. Which is a little sad, but, you know, it's definitely a thing to an extent. It's funny the impressions people get of places they don't live based on whatever they see elsewhere. You know? And there's definitely a lot of stuff in the news about all that, so it makes sense. Yeah, William Wallace wasn't from America. I tried to convince my fiance to watch oh my god, I can't even remember the name of it. It's not The Patriot. That's another one. What is it? It's not called William Wallace, is it? Come on. It's the scene where he's like, freedom! Braveheart, thank you. I feel like an idiot. I don't think she would love it, to be honest. Like, it's very long. I think that's probably more my speed. What is it? Isn't it like 3.5 hours? Actually, she wouldn't like it because, do I have to say spoilers at this point? Braveheart's been out for like 20 years. I don't need to say spoilers, right? Because the woman dies. Which is pretty gut-wrenching. But, you know, it's like adds to the motivation for this man to battle back. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know. How did we get here? What have we talked about? We've talked about burgers, guns, baguettes, Crater Lake, and now TaToH's on the way to Feudal Age. And TaToH's going to go win water. To be expected. I think Sebastian will do the same thing. Sebastian with 3 fishing ships. But guys, I absolutely hate his dock position. Why did he not dock closer to the tower? This makes 0 sense to me. Like, part of this is, like, the whole point of the map is to keep yourself protected by the tower. Or it's not the whole point of the map, but it's like a really strong tower. I guess if his second dock is over here, I don't hate it as much. Because then he's able to take the fish next to the tower. So that could actually be his thinking. Take as much of the fish from over here, then go over here. Why are Americans so ignorant about how great their country is? Okay, guys, we don't need to start, okay? All right, we don't need to start. Dude, just making some small talk, some jokes, all right? Not making these big statements about how great a country is or how bad a country is. The Frenchman said hello from Baguette Land, all right? France is pretty great apart from baguettes, and I'm no expert. We're good. The TaToH's going to go for galleys. And there's that dock. Okay, so I don't mind this as much now. Now I understand more along the lines of what Sebastian was thinking. And Saracens do have a bonus that is relevant here. They do have faster firing galleys. I don't remember the percentage. I don't remember if it's like 10% or like 25 or... I mean, it's certainly not above that, right? But it is helpful in the galley war. And now Sebastian's going to back up to the tower. So actually, I like how Sebastian has done this, now that I see his plan. Because he can still take the fish around here, which is underneath his tower, and nice and safe. Galley production from Sebastian. A lot of this is execution, guys. But then it's a matter of economy and planning for the future, right? Like, TaToH already starting to take some berries right now. There are other areas for hunt. You don't normally see other civs take that. The scouts are fighting here. This is going to be a fight that TaToH thinks he's winning. But the galleys are on the way. Boom! No! Oh, that's so sad. The first volley didn't hit, but both scouts die in the same spot. All the fishies down there get a nice little meal. And over here, TaToH loses Or, sorry, kills a fishing ship from Sebastian. But did take a little bit of HP loss. So, it's just 2 docks for TaToH. So, he's saving wood for other things. Right now, that seems to be walls, though Sebastian's doing the same. But there's just a lot more Navy in queue for Sebastian. And now neither player has a scout. So now Sneak Army becomes a lot more of a possibility for either player. But that also is probably why a lot of them are walling, too. Like, walling up is because you know your opponent could show up with army, and you're not planning on army. Better micro from TaToH here. Neither player having fletching, and Sebastian's going to try and get away before he loses the final ship. A little questionable, maybe, that he didn't choose to run away when he had, in hit and run, but I think he felt like he was going to get a kill there. Did give another one to TaToH, though. Yeah, Blaine, I can already tell you that player is going to be banned. It's literally a player that has already been banned in the past. Don't even worry about it, dude. Well, I think Italians have the better Navy in the long run because of how this map tends to work. So, you have the cheaper dock text with Italians, and then it's cheaper to go up to the next age. And I think those things combined, I maybe should have reversed the order. Being able to go up to Castle Age because it's cheaper, and then having the cheaper dock text to be able to upgrade your ships and kind of control water, I think it's helpful. Now, what you can do if you're Saracens is you can buy and sell things with the market at a better rate. And so that's probably a smart thinking here. In fact, I think TaToH, he might also be trying to use the market. We might have a race to the market here, guys. But, it's worth mentioning that TaToH, 6 ships, not producing any more. Sebastian, 8 ships, producing 2 more. But TaToH's got farms, and TaToH was on berries earlier, and so he's just transitioning this towards the economy a little faster than Sebastian. So what that would mean is, like, Sebastian's got to get some type of a payoff for all this investment, right? Ideally, anyways. TaToH does buy some food. TaToH got his market up slightly behind Sebastian. Sebastian still hasn't used his market, but he's doing it now, and he's going to sell his stone. But I've said it before, I'll say it again. TaToH's so clean. His transitions are so good. Anytime there's a water map, TaToH's one of the best players on the planet. And 2 out of the 3 maps in this whole series were designated to be water because both players picked a hybrid map for a home map. And there's no weak map for TaToH, but just not sure if this galley mass is going to matter if TaToH gets to Castle Age faster, and there's so much he can do with it, right? Remember, it's still 2 fishing ships for both, so TaToH has benefited greatly from how he's played this because he's still fishing away, and he still has the sea tower. This is why I haven't seen anyone else go 3 docks, because the sea tower is hugely helpful. You don't need to have as many ships. Be curious to see exactly what TaToH will do here. And yeah, it seems to me like he's going to go try and place a TC over on this right side. Now, this is risky. So he might not actually drop it on the main gold because he doesn't know if Sebastian has archers or whatever. He might instead drop it here and then later on go to that other area. Oh, there we go. Finally, Sebastian is going to get these fishing ships. Now, if he dominates water in Castle Age and he keeps his mass going, he could add fishing ships too. Where are his fish? His fish is there. He could have like 6 or 8 fishing ships, which could be really nice. And that's all TaToH set out to do here. TaToH is hoping to snipe those fish. Now, the way I compare the situation here, as compared to land, which I think is easier for viewers' brains, is now you're looking at basically like crossbow versus knight. And with crossbow armies, you always have to pay attention to them, micro them, move back and forth. And with knights, you can just kind of patrol them into an attack. And so TaToH's going for fires to the Knights of the Sea, okay? And all he wants to do, he's going to put all of his focus into land. And he just wants to make sure that this doesn't become an issue. So, like, get a decent amount of damage in, but not have to put his full focus there. And he's actually going to drop a TC at home and a TC on this side. And, oh, man, I mean, this is a great TC for TaToH. If he can, the villagers will move. There you go. He could actually take some of the hunt with the TC first. And all right, here he goes, guys. Here he goes. Oh, man. I'm actually going to go from Sebastian's point of view. Let's see. He's adding a knight. I will pay attention to that in a second. The other thing is, too, the fires don't take as much damage from the sea tower. And TaToH sees the ships. Okay, took out one fishing ship. Now sees the galleys. TaToH's got demos. Sebastian tries to hit the demos. TaToH's favorite thing, these demos. Now he's cornered. So he had all these numbers, but he wasn't really able to use it. Oh, no. Sebastian wants to drop a TC here. Will he see the TaToH as a TC here? He does. But now there's no fishing advantage, right? So neither player has fishing ships, and TaToH is faster to the town centers. TaToH noticed that knight, though. So that's something to keep an eye on. And still the demos, man. TaToH's waiting. He keeps running parallel. Or I guess perpendicular. Parallel to the units. Well, no. Perpendicular, sorry, to the units. I mean, he kept moving, which confused me even further. He just kept dodging the shots for as long as he could. But, okay. Sebastian's going to defend on water. TaToH, knowing there's a knight out there, has now dropped a monastery. TaToH going to stone, realizing a castle is going to be needed. Sebastian also on 2 town centers here. Also on stone. Does not have good food eco. Like, it's not looking even close to good right now for Sebastian. You could consider this an all-in situation. Like, the TC edition makes you think that it's not an all-in. But the 2 on food and that 2 on food being berries is absolutely in an all-in state. Whereas TaToH can produce out of his TCs a lot more realistically anyways. And he's going to add siege and he's going to add monks. And like Sebastian's aiming to kill this. If he can kill this, he can correct his eco in the meanwhile. He's got a nice navy in the middle that could help him out in the long run. There's a lot of things that could happen. Sebastian needs a win here. 55 pop for him, 50 pop for TaToH. Though a lot of that army pop for Sebastian is navy. And it's not all hugely relevant in this moment. But guys, look. I mean, Sebastian also has vision over here. So he knows if TaToH ever tries to go over there, which is always a possibility. How's your siege micro here, Sebastian? If he has better siege micro, he's in a great position. I think this is actually a smart move. He's going to take out TaToH's outpost because look at TaToH's vision right now. And look at TaToH's vision after the outpost goes down. That changes things, right? Vision's going to extend to here. There's an outpost for Sebastian. Villager goes down. TaToH with another outpost, though, so now he has more vision again. This knight was going to break in. TaToH seemingly walled it out. Another TC for Sebastian. Has corrected his food eco, so it's looking better. Better than I expected it to look. But in opting to add those farms, he also delayed siege. And he actually doesn't have gold income right now, so he's selling things to get gold. And that's because he ran out of the other 2 tiles of gold, and he's just now TCing this 2 tile. But he doesn't actually have... Oh, an important moment for Sebastian. How did TaToH not get the kill on that one? That's 1 HP. He doesn't actually have villagers mining the gold sides. I kind of like this position because your navy can help you. And oh my goodness, this guy's micro is insane. But uh-oh, TaToH's turn. TaToH's turn. No way. No way. No, Sebastian. Bye, little Sebastian. Sorry, wrong topic. Painful. I mean, both players had an instance there where their Mangonel went down to low HP, but that was the crucial moment there for Sebastian. If he could have continued to snowball, this wouldn't happen. And now we've got castle being built by TaToH, and TaToH's going to get the gold control, and for Sebastian, still no TC on these golds. Also, for those that are maybe confused by that song, I'd suggest watching Parks and Rec. I have to give credit to some random individual in chat for that because recently I was casting Sebastian, and somebody said that in chat. So, as always, you know, the streamer's not actually the creative one, and it's just his viewers. TaToH is better food economy. TaToH is better eco upgrades. TaToH is better gold control. You could make arguments that his civilization's a little better. I think Saracens are actually very, very good and flexible as a civilization. It's just a lot of people play all in with them because of the market. They're great. Like, they could go Arbalest, Cav Archer, Hussar, Camel, Bombard Cannon, Siege Ram, Siege Onager. And TaToH's going to now just relax a little bit and just try and cover the basics here, right? And try and snowball this to victory, get the relics. The next move for TaToH should probably be some vision on this left-hand side. I think if he ever gets units over there, he'll be shocked to find out there's not a TC there from Sebastian. Candles in the wind, yeah. I would say the Mangonel Micro was pretty much even in this game, right? I didn't see a big difference between the trades with the Mangonels. They traded similar amounts. But a 50-50 trade is perfect for TaToH, considering his position here. You have +2 armor for Sebastian. So Sebastian's going to try and push the main base of TaToH. That's an interesting move. You can run right through the middle on this map. I actually don't hate that, because I think if this game continues in somewhat of a standard fashion, this just becomes worse and worse for you. Running into TaToH's main eco could be interesting. If he gets relegated back to gold, we'll have to play it. No, no. I honestly, I know it's going to look bad. But even if he loses this game, I think there's a lot of hope for Sebastian in this group still. But it would need to be, like, a part of a big upset. Like, he would need to overthrow, like, Barles, Veleza, TaToH. Like, he would need to beat some good players. I still believe in the guy. Like, I still believe that it is possible with his skill set. Continues to buy and sell a lot of resources, selling all of his stones, so he won't have a castle anytime soon. TaToH making his own knights. He wanted to go for a side push here. He might regret that now. Or might think better of that. He did get redemption, though, so he can convert siege. And so now that siege push isn't going to be as much of a factor, and knights actually can't break in. And if the knights were here with a hole, then it'd be different. TaToH would just need one palisade wall, and his castle is going to go up. Yep, there's the palisade wall. It's just crazy to me how TaToH's making every decision when he needs to. And look, he converts the siege and the knight, and now his castle will go up, and then he can go up to the Imperial Age. I completely understood Sebastian's thinking there. I can't take the right side. Let's take the middle. I have vision on the left side, so that's secure. But now you've got TaToH on the way to the Imperial Age. And maybe this is something that could have happened a little bit earlier for Sebastian, was using the Navy to try and break in, but TaToH's castle will shoot that down, so you do not want to sit here any longer. And TaToH's making petards? TaToH's making petards. I think he wants to break into his opponent's base there. That's a bit interesting. Feels like a good opportunity to start making those Genoese crossbowmen, doesn't it? 92 villagers for Sebastian. He's not going to click up to Imp anytime soon, but Sebastian's over here. And he takes out a couple monks. He's going to take out the siege. Could actually ram down TaToH's town center. Wait a second. What? This is actually really smart. He has all the knights, right? And all these upgrades. So he wants value from it. And TaToH's not making Genoese. If there was Genoese crossbowmen, this might not have been a possibility. But yeah, TaToH will absolutely lose his TC. Wow. Now, it's worth mentioning that Saracens don't really have a long term with knights. They don't get Cavalier. But you do get full blacksmith upgrades, at least. And TaToH is probably like, fine, I'll go for Genoese. Like, I was going to raid you. Like, I feel like TaToH just felt like he's in a strong position here. But yeah, the knight switch, sorry, a little questionable. I just combined a couple words. Was expecting Bodcanero and Ballistics and more Genoese crossbowmen for TaToH. I'm very excited to see what happens when TaToH tries to take this side, however. He doesn't actually have a lot of stone income. He is going to break in over here, though. I don't know. Did Sebastian realize that? Looks like he's reacted to it. I don't know if he'll have the answer. Oh, boy. And now Sebastian's going to try and castle drop there. Maybe not realizing TaToH's an imp. He does have to come home to clear this up, however, which will leave him exposed here. Game got pretty messy here. Sebastian's had the score lead pretty much the entire game, which is vision and also population. A lot of the Navy obviously helps. And Sebastian will clear this up. Sebastian will defend from this. Sebastian's going to drop his castle, guys. The problem now is TaToH can make a trap, but can TaToH defend his trap? That's actually a big concern. If Sebastian goes all in knights, somehow just dives underneath this castle constantly and takes out the trebs, TaToH might run out of gold. Even keeping these villagers idle for TaToH would be something, but again, TaToH's an imp. I feel like if you bring the treb in here, you need to wall it in. I don't know if you can actually wall in all the terrain, but it's got to be in your thought process, I think. Hussar now for TaToH. Keep in mind, he's got so much safe food eco behind here. Could always raid this side with some stable units. It's so exposed. But I think his focus has to be getting to imp. But either getting to imp or all-inning, right? You can't do a mix of both. Like, with those that villager queue and that gold count, I absolutely think he could be imping right now. TaToH's been a pest, though. This is kind of funny. Okay. There's that raid. There's this raid. These stables were still spamming units in. There's this raid. The Genoese crossbowmen are protecting the trebs, so the castle will probably go down for Sebastian. He has clicked up to imp, but the tide is shifting now, guys. And now look at TaToH making outposts on the side. He's going to move over to that gold. And if you don't have a castle there or a TC, if you're Sebastian, you're going to have big problems. And he's just got so many different things to deal with now from TaToH. It's just kind of falling apart a bit. And he's got to bring the Rams all the way over here to deal with these stables. But TaToH's okay with random light cav getting villager picks. TaToH's not going to complain about that at all. And Sebastian's army isn't really able to pressure him. And TaToH realizing good opportunity. Sees the outpost now with all of his outposts. That's a lot of outposts in one spot of the map for Sebastian. TaToH, I guess it converted these knights? Oh, that's sick. He actually converted those knights that were over here. And now he realizes there's not a whole lot. He probably would just drop a castle here and just so he can take the stone. He doesn't know if Sebastian will send anything over. It looks like Sebastian is. I mean, if TaToH gets this castle denied, we still have ourselves a pretty crazy game. He gets the castle up, however, it becomes as questionable and as difficult as I would have expected it to have been here for Sebastian. Let's see if TaToH sees this and just makes a gate and a stone wall or two. He's just going to go for the stone walls. Yep, stone wall it up. That castle will always go up now. That's a play that you would expect everyone within the top couple hundred in the world to make easily. And that will mean more Genoese crossbowmen. TaToH moving the Genoese crossbowmen from here over against the cav, and I do not know what the long term is for Sebastian. These villagers, they'll die to the light cav. Still, the side of Sebastian's base will be wide open to light cav raids. I guess this area is exposed. Sebastian actually deletes his own house and will run into TaToH's eco. This is funny, man. He's trying to find a way. TaToH didn't realize that. It was kind of, he maybe assumed it was his own houses, actually, that were there for a while. But it almost looks like he might have been expecting it because he has Genoese crossbowmen here. And again, they do bonus versus cavalry. These knights, man, they're not going to last long. These knights won't last long. Villagers in the middle probably will not last long. This is not going to last long. And yeah, this is TaToH's game. Sebastian's population was really high for a long time. Oh! Boom! Dang, that was an epic shot. Great job. I mean, he's doing everything he can to hold on here. But the flow of the game, I think that's the best way to say it. The flow of the game has been all for TaToH. It's just this natural build-up to the next decision. You go to water and transition to land. You go to land and transition into the defense. You then use that defense to go into a castle. You go into a raid to set up the play for the Genoese crossbowmen. it's so methodical and so clean as he denies this castle. And Sebastian's got to be so disappointed in himself at the moment, but this will be a 6th straight loss here, which will put him deep down in the depths of Group D. Though, to be fair to him, there will be a lot of other people who still have to play their second rounds. And TaToH beats Sebastian. Sebastian drops the GG, also drops the well played. And man, TaToH looked so good today. And I'm going to say this. TaToH looked so much better today than he did against Barles in the first week. And I think a lot of that probably had to do with the fact that, players took breaks for the holidays and TaToH was just kind of getting back in shape. TaToH looked sick today. Like, the TaToH of today, one of the favorites to possibly, like, be first or second in the group, right? Like, right now you've got Viper as number 1 in the group, but TaToH's just like a win behind him, and obviously they'll have to play each other at some point. But TaToH didn't look just good today. He looked great. And Capture Age isn't letting me give TaToH his win. There we go. Boom. Gave TaToH his win. So, great start for TaToH. No one really expected TaToH to be in that relegation conversation in the group stage. For Sebastian, obviously being a promoted player amongst so many established pros, that was always going to be the conversation for him. So, he's going to have to step it up. Sebastian will have 3 more weeks, 3 more rounds. His series against Veleza, Barles, and then TaToH are huge now. Like, I think it's safe to say that if he gets 3-0'd again, well, actually, no. If he gets 3-0'd again, he statistically is still fine because he needs to then get 3-0s or 2-1s against the other players. But, I mean, he has to start getting wins at some point. Hasn't happened for him yet. Excited to see more from the guy, though. He's always fun to play. The thing about him is, like, so we've seen 3-0s before. When he gets 3-0'd, he's still competitive in each and every game. Like, there's still really good games. It's not like he's just folding over and dying. He's just TaToH seems to be a similar type of player with a lot more experience and probably more well-rounded, too, in terms of what he can do. TaToH, whether it's skirmishers, siege, booming, knights, archers, he can kind of just do it all. He's a complete player.